If you can handle these 40 real estate exam questions, you are doing the kind of search-driven practice that actually pause each question, choose A, B, C, or D, then watch the answer, explanation, and trap. Next block. Agency与 representation. Agency duties, disclose. Question E. New York requires disclosure of agency relationship. Your choices are A. Only at closing, B. At first. The correct answer is B. At first substantive contact. Explanation. NY law requires disclosure at first substantive contact about a specific property. Common trap. Students wait for a contract or closing. New York wants the disclosure much. Question R. A buyer's agent in New York owes the seller. Your choices are A. Fiduciary duties, B. Honest and fair deal. The correct answer is B. Honest and fair dealing. Explanation. A buyer's agent owes the seller honest and fair dealing, but fiduciary duties go to the buyer. Common trap. Fair dealing is not the same thing as fiduciary loyalty. Quick takeaway. Question 3. A New York dual agent must have. Your choices are A. Verbal consent from one party, B. Informed written. The correct answer is B. Informed written consent from both parties. Explanation. Dual agency requires informed written consent from both buyer and seller. Common trap. Verbal consent is not enough when both sides are represented. Quick takeaway. Question 4. A New York broker's fiduciary duties include all except. Your choices are A. Loyalty, B. Full disclosure. The correct answer is C. Guaranteeing sale price. Explanation. Brokers cannot guarantee outcomes. Duties include loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality. Common trap. The exam mixes real duties with promises brokers can never guarantee. Question 5. From whom does a real estate salesperson receive their compensation in New York? Your choices are A. The buyer, B. The correct answer is D. The sponsoring broker. Explanation. In New York, salespersons receive compensation only from their sponsoring broker, not directly from clients. Common trap. Salespersons do not collect commissions directly from clients in New York. Next block. Ownership与 contract basics. Ownership forms. Question 6. A New York condominium differs from a cooperative because. Your choices are A. Condos are less expensive. B. The correct answer is B. Condo owners have a deed to their unit. Explanation. Condo owners receive a deed to their unit, real property. Co-op owners hold shares. Common trap. Both sound like ownership, but the exam cares whether the owner holds a deed or share. Question 7. The most commonly used deed in New York residential transactions is. Your choices are A. Quitclaim deed, B. The correct answer is B. Bargain and sale deed with covenants. Explanation. Bargain and sale deed with covenants against grantors acts as standard in NY. Common trap. Students often default to general warranty deed even when the state uses a different standard. Question 8. New York recognizes which form of marital property ownership? Your choices are A. Community property, B. The correct answer is B. Tenancy by the entirety. Explanation. NY recognizes tenancy by the entirety for married couples, providing protection from individual creditors. Common trap. Community property is not the New York answer. Quick takeaway. New question 9. In New York, a contract of sale for real property must be. Your choices are A. Oral only, B. In. The correct answer is B. In writing to be enforceable. Explanation. The statute of frauds requires real estate contracts to be in writing. Common trap. Recording and notarizing sound formal, but the core requirement is simply enforced. Question 10. A binder in New York real estate is. Your choices are A binding contract, B. A preliminary agreement. The correct answer is B. A preliminary agreement subject to attorney approval. Explanation. A binder is a preliminary agreement typically subject to attorney approval within 3-5 days. Common trap. Students hear binder and assume a final contract. Quick takeaway. Next block. Financing 与 foreclosure. Mortgage basics. Foreclosure. Question 11. New York uses which security instrument for real estate loans? Your choices are A. Deed of trust. B. The correct answer is B. Mortgage. Explanation. New York is a mortgage lien theory state. Common trap. Deed of trust is common elsewhere, but not the New York answer. Quick take. Question 12. Foreclosure in New York is. Your choices are A. Non-judicial by power of sale. B. Judicial through. The correct answer is B. Judicial through the court system. Explanation. New York requires judicial foreclosure through the court system. Common trap. Students mix judicial and non-judicial systems from different states. Question 13. In New York, CEMA, Consolidation Extension and Modification Agreement, is used to. Your choices are. The correct answer is B. Reduce mortgage recording tax on refinancing. Explanation. CEMA allows borrowers to pay recording tax only on the new money borrowed when refinancing. Common trap. The acronym sounds technical, but the test is really about recording tax savings. Question 14. A New York borrower has the right to redeem property. Your choices are A. For 6 months after sale, B. And the correct answer is B. Until the foreclosure sale is confirmed. Explanation. NY borrowers can redeem until the court confirms the foreclosure sale. Common trap. Many students assume there is a fixed post-sale redemption period. Question 15. New York's mortgage recording tax is approximately. Your choices are A. 0.5% of the mortgage amount. The correct answer is C. 1.8% to 2.8% depending on location. Explanation. NY mortgage recording tax varies by location, ranging from about 5%. Common trap. The exact number shifts by location, so the exam usually wants the range read. Next block. New York law, property taxes. Local law, tax. Question 16. New York zoning is primarily controlled by. Your choices are A. The state, B. Local municipalities. The correct answer is B. Local municipalities. Explanation. Zoning is controlled by local municipalities through their planning departments. Common trap. Students over-credit the state or federal government on local land. Use question 17. New York human rights law protections include all federal classes plus. Your choices are A. No additional classes. The correct answer is PH. Marital status, military status, sexual orientation. Explanation. NY adds H. Marital status, military stat. Common trap. Federal classes are the baseline, but New York adds more protected categories. Question 18. New York transfer taxes are paid by. Your choices are A. The buyer only, B. The seller, with mentioned. The correct answer is B. The seller, with mentioned tax paid by buyer. Explanation. Seller pays transfer tax, buyer pays mentioned tax on properties over $1 million. Common trap. Students mix transfer tax with mentioned tax and assign both to the same party. Question 19. New York transfer tax, outside NYC, is. Your choices are A. $2 per $500 of consider. The correct answer is A. $2 per $500 of consideration. Explanation. NY state transfer taxes 2美元 per 500美元 0.4%. Outside NYC common trap. The test often uses the rate format instead of a percentage. Quick takeaway. Question 20. An adverse possession claim in New York requires possession for. Your choices are A. 5 years, B. 10 years. The correct answer is B. 10 years. Explanation. New York requires 10 years of adverse possession to claim title. Common trap. Students know the concept but forget the New York time requirement. Quick take. Next block. Co-ops, licensing 与 math. License number. Question 21. In New York, a cooperative apartment owner holds. Your choices are A. Real property deed, B. The correct answer is B. Shares in a corporation and a proprietary lease. Explanation. Co-op owners hold shares in the cooperative corporation and a proprietary lease. Common trap. The unit feels like real estate, but the legal interest is shares plus a lease. Question 22. New York requires how many hours of pre-license education for salespersons? Your choices are A. 40. The correct answer is B. 75 hours. Explanation. New York requires 75 hours of pre-license education for salesperson candidates. Common trap. The exam loves clean number. Recall questions like this. Quick takeaway. Question 23. New York continuing education for salespeople requires. Your choices are A. No CE required. B. The correct answer is B. 22.5 hours every 2 years. Explanation. NY requires 22.5 hours of continuing education every 2 years for salesperson renewal. Common trap. Students mix pre-license hours, continuing education hours, and question 24. A house sells for 33 万美元 in Albany, New York. The commission check is handed to the broker, which is 17000. The correct answer is B. 5.25%. Explanation. Commission rate 等于 commission 除以 sale price 等于 17,325 除以 33 万美元等于 0. Common trap. The math is easy if you divide commission by sale price in the right order. Quick question 25. Find the annual GRM for A6 unit building in Buffalo, New York with an asking price of 85 万美元 and gross. The correct answer is C. 15.45. Explanation. GRM 等于 price 除以 gross annual rent 等于85万美元除以55000美元等于 15.45. Common trap. Students reverse the formula and divide rent by price instead of price by gross rent. Next block. Formation essentials. Valid contract elements. Question 26. Which of the following is required for a valid contract in California? Your choices are A witness signature. The correct answer is C. Mutual consent. Explanation. A valid contract requires competent parties, mutual consent, offer and acceptance, lawful object. Common trap. Students often default to formalities like notarization or recording instead of the real. Question 27. The statute of frauds requires that. Your choices are A. All contracts must be notarized. B. The correct answer is B. Real estate contracts must be in writing to be enforceable. Explanation. The statute of frauds requires certain contracts, including those for the sale of common trap. The exam likes to test whether you know writing is about enforceability, not about question 28. What constitutes consideration in a real estate contract? Your choices are A. Money only, B. Work. The correct answer is D. Money, work, or A. Promise. Explanation. Consideration can be money, services, goods, or a promise, anything of value exchange. Common trap. Students make consideration too narrow and think only cash counts. Quick take question 29. A purchase offer becomes a binding contract when signed by. Your choices are A. Buyer only, B. The correct answer is D. Buyer and seller. Explanation. A purchase offer becomes a binding contract when both the buyer and seller have signed, creating mutual agreement, meeting common trap. One signature is not enough. The contract binds when both sides have accept. Question 30. A seller rejecting an offer, changing terms, and resubmitting creates. Your choices are A. Counteroffer. The correct answer is A. Counteroffer. Explanation. A counteroffer is a rejection of the original offer combined with a new offer on different terms. The original offer is terminated. Common trap. Changing terms is not a harmless edit. It kills the original offer. Next block. Contract types and conditions. Pause before every reveal. Question 31. A bilateral contract is one in which. Your choices are A. Only one party makes a promise. B. The correct answer is B. Both parties make promises to each other. Explanation. In a bilateral contract, both parties exchange promises. A sales contract is common trap. Students hear contract and think writing requirement instead of promise structure. Question 32. An option contract in Michigan gives the buyer. Your choices are A. Ownership of the property, B. The right. The correct answer is B. The right, but not obligation, to purchase within a specified time. Explanation. An option contract gives the buyer the right, but not the obligation. Common trap. An option does not transfer ownership. It only gives the right to buy. Question 33. The difference between a lease option and lease purchases. Your choices are A. Lease option obligates seller only. The correct answer is A. Lease option obligates seller only. Explanation. In a lease option, the seller is obligated to sell if the buyer exercises the option, but the buyer is common trap. Both sound like rent, to own, but the buyer is not equally bound in both. Question 34. Contracts with contingency clauses are. Your choices are A. Voidable, B. Valid, C. Void. The correct answer is A. Voidable. Explanation. Contracts with contingencies are voidable because either party may void the contract if the contingency is not met, e.g., finance. Common trap. Students treat contingencies like automatic void contracts when they are really conditional. Question 35. A Missouri land installment contract, contract for deed. Your choices are A. Is prohibited, B. The correct answer is B. Is regulated with buyer protections. Explanation. Missouri regulates land installment contracts to provide protections for buyers. Common trap. Installment contracts are not the same as immediate title transfer. Quick. Next block. Breach and enforceability. Pause before every reveal. Question 36. A court remedy compelling a party to complete a property sale is. Your choices are A. Execution, B. The correct answer is C. Specific performance. Explanation. Specific performance is a court order requiring a party to fulfill their contractual obligations, commonly used in common trap. Because real estate is unique, contract remedies are not just about money damage. Question 37. The seller dies after an offer to purchase their property has been accepted. The seller's grandchild inherits the real estate. The correct answer is B. The grandchild is compelled to sell under the terms of the accepted offer. Explanation. An accepted offer creates a binding contract that survives the death of either. Common trap. Students think death automatically destroys the deal. That is true for offers. Question 38. An as-is clause in a general purchase contract. Your choices are A. Applies only to matters of record, B. The correct answer is B. Applies only to things that have been properly disclosed or are visible and observable conditions. Explanation. An S clause transfers property without warrant. Common trap. S is does not erase disclosure duties or magically wipe out known defects. Question 39. A contract signed by a minor is. Your choices are A. Invalid, B. Valid, C. Void. The correct answer is C. Voidable. Explanation. Contracts signed by minors are voidable, meaning the minor can choose to void the contract or ratify it upon reaching the age of majority. Common trap. Minors do not always create totally void contracts. The exam wants. Question 40. An offer to purchase real estate is terminated by all of the following except. Your choices are A. Death of the offerer. The correct answer is C. Inquiry about terms by the offeree. Explanation. An inquiry about terms does not terminate an offer. However, death of the offerer, a common trap. An inquiry about terms feels like a rejection, but it is not the same as a comment how many you got right. If you scored above 30, you are in strong shape. If the same topic kept showing up in your misses, make that your next review.